what kind of modules do we have in our PTE examination? We usually have 4 modules, which is, let's talk about speaking module, which is the most scoring one. You're gonna hear a lecture and you have to retell it. Acha, score killer kyun? Pauses, though it's very healthy. So if you're dealing with opinion essay, did you give your opinion? There is negative marking. So take your step wisely. Okay, hello. So today we are here with something really interesting for you guys, where today I'm gonna help you with what kind of modules do we have in our PTE examination, that is Pearson's Test of English. It is also one of the proficiency examinations like IELTS, and today I'm gonna help you understand what kind of module are there and how are we going to deal with it. Okay, chalo, so let's get started. The very first thing that I will be discussing over here is the section time and skill assessed. Usually what happens, on an average, we usually have 4 modules, which is listening, reading, writing and speaking, and same is over here. You can clearly see we've got speaking and writing, we've got reading and we've got listening. The time that speaking and writing takes is 54 to 67 minutes. It assesses your speaking and writing at the same time. So yes, जैसे कि एक रेफरेंस अगर मैं दूं तो आइल्स के एग्जामिनेशन में हमारे पास चारों मॉड्यूल अलग अलग होते हैं, ठीक है. लाइक हमें चारों मॉड्यूल को अलग अलग तरीके से असेस करना होता है, डिफरेंट लेवल पे असेस करना होता है. बट ओवर हियर सॉरी, इन पीटी व्हाट हैपेंस कि हम स्पीकिंग एंड राइटिंग को एक साथ असेस करते हैं, या हम उसकी जो एग्जामिनेशन है उसको एक साथ अपेयर करते हैं, एंड एट द सेम टाइम वी गॉट लिसनिंग अलग से एंड रीडिंग अलग से. ठीक है, चलो रीडिंग की टाइम फ्रेम देख लेते हैं. इट इज 30 minutes for reading and it is 30 to 43 minutes in listening. So this is what we have for our speaking, writing, reading and listening. ठीक है, चलो moving ahead. Now let's talk about speaking module, which is the most scoring one, plus I'm also going to tell you the fair area of it. The task types that you usually get for speaking is read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture and answer short question. Now listen to me carefully. What exactly you guys need to do in read aloud? देखो, read aloud mein you have the text and you have to read it aloud in order to test your speaking and your, basically it is used to test your pronunciation, your enunciation and the way you go ahead with the, like what kind of accent you use. Now here if I'm going to talk about the accent, I'm not talking about American or British accent, but there's this flow of speaking. Okay, there's this voice modulation also that is being taken into consideration. That is what they judge. Okay, repeat sentence itself suggests, so you're going to have a sentence and you have to repeat it. So whatever they say, you have to repeat it. And describe image is, of course, you will get an image, you have to describe it while speaking. Retell lecture is, you're going to hear a lecture and you have to retell it. So basically you have to give a kind of summary of the lecture. Okay, this is what you can expect. And at the end, answer short question. Okay, now the scoring criteria here is how it's being judged. The content, pronunciation, fluency and oral vocabulary. So basically at part जहाँ पे आपको खुद से बोला जा रहा है रिपीट करने के लिए, and at part जहाँ पे the thing is where you are going to use your own vocabulary and explain. ठीक है, दोनों ही केसेस में it's really very important for you to have a really good voice modulation, fluency, pronunciation and reading ability. Okay, moving ahead, the pro tip that I would want to give you is fluency is more considered than accent. So accent is not a big deal over here. The very first thing that you guys have to be very particular is your fluency. Okay. Moving ahead, we've got pauses that's gonna work as a score killer. Acha, score killer क्यों? Pauses, though it's very healthy. Pauses can be score killer because PTE examination में ना आपका एक time frame चलता है. Okay? एक टाइम फ्रेम चलता है जिसके वजह से इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू गाइस टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग दैट इज दैट योर पॉजेस will take your time. So let's suppose you have to read aloud a sentence for like 50 seconds. Okay. So in those 50 seconds, it's really very important कि आप उसको इस तरीके से read करो and try not to टेक अ लॉट ऑफ पॉजेज. और ये पॉज तब आ सकता है जब आपको आपके सामने कोई डिफिकल्ट वर्ड हो या यू आर नॉट दैट प्रोफिशिएंट इन रीडिंग. सो दैट्स हाउ. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर पीटी के एग्जाम में ना it's not only the assessment of your speaking and it's not only the assessment of your reading, but they assess you. Like kabhi they assess all 4 modules in one particular module. So you just have to be proficient. They of course they are there to check your proficiency. Okay, chalo. Moving ahead, we've got writing module. So, scoring smart, not hard. Now listen to it. Summarize written text, one sentence, 5 to 75 words. Write essay, 200 to 300 words. This is something that you get in your writing module. Okay. ऐसे के टाइप क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? ओपिनियन, एडवांटेज, डिसएडवांटेज, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्यूशन, डिस्कस बोथ व्यूज. दीज आर द टाइप्स ऑफ एग्जाम क्वेश्चंस यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट. इंपॉर्टेंट इनसाइट क्या है भाई? लेट्स हैव अ लुक. ग्रामर प्लस स्ट्रक्चर plus vocabulary will give you a really good score. Okay. Now we've got another part over here that says, okay. Now, okay, just ignore that. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is whenever you are going to encounter the writing module, always remember your presentation matters the most. Presentation means paragraphing, how you are bifurcating the paragraph. First. Second is what kind of essay you guys are dealing with. Okay. So if you're dealing with opinion essay, did you give your opinion? If you're dealing with advantages and disadvantages, have you given a proper advantage and disadvantage with the pointers that are being demanded, right? Okay, moving ahead. We've got reading module, tricky but predictable. Okay, let's understand the task type before. Reading and writing, so you have to do fill in the blanks. So what you have to do, you have to read it and you have to give the answers like fill in the blanks. Multiple choice question, single answers, multiple choice, multiple answers, reorder paragraph. Reading may fill in the blanks can also be there. Okay. So here you can clearly see we've got reading and writing. Here we've got reading. High weightage task kaun se hai? So we've got fill in the blanks, reorder paragraph, negative marking exists. So yes, now here's where the twist comes into action. So in reading module, whenever you're dealing with PTE reading module, always remember there is negative marking. So take your step wisely. Always remember, that is the reason I keep on telling you. So no matter what kind of examination I'm guiding you for, I keep on telling you that make sure to enhance your skill set. What is your skill set? Your skill set is basically your speaking, writing, reading and listening ability. So reading का मतलब ये नहीं है कि you are reading one line 10 times and then you are able to understand what it's written. But you're reading just one line and there you go, you know the meaning. So that's how a reading skill set is developed. Okay. Now, moving ahead further. We've got listening now. So let's understand the task type here. Summarize spoken text, multiple choice question, multiple choice for multiple options, fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, select missing word, highlight incorrect word, write from dictation, most important golden rule, write from dictation, listening plus writing plus spelling. This is what you get in your listening module. Now, it's really very important for you guys to understand one thing, that whenever you go for listening, you need to listen it carefully. Okay, so whenever I say listen it carefully, that it might include multiple pronunciation, ऐसे pronunciations होते हैं, ऐसे misheard words होते हैं जो आपसे miss हो सकते हैं, या that might include some relevant information that you guys might miss. So उसको miss नहीं करना है. You have to be very particular whenever you are listening. Concentration देखो, क्योंकि ये examination पूरा का पूरा computer based होता है, so you have to make sure you have a really good top notch concentration skill in order to go ahead and solve the question. Okay, now let's understand the scoring system. So what about the scoring system, how it works? So basically it's from 10 to 90, of course 90 being the highest, and communicative skills, speaking, writing, reading and listening. Enabling skills, what all things you need to work upon will be grammar, oral fluency, pronunciation, spelling and vocabulary. These are some of the skill set. With this, of course, your concentration, regular practice, consistency, and one of the most important aspect, motivation, is very important. As this entire examination is computerized and is being checked by an AI, it's really important to take care of the meticulous details that is required for your examination. Yes, of course, there is a not exactly major difference, but there's still going to be difference if your examination is being checked by a human or an AI. So AI is totally a kind of computerized thing where whatever the prompt is being added, it's going to work accordingly. So you guys have to be very careful. Also, you have to be very careful with the kind of English you use. So if you choose to write your essay in British English and you use any of the American words, you have to pay for that. And if you choose American accent or American English, and if you use any of the words related to British English, yes. So this examination is a little bit, considerate or a little bit serious about the kind of English you choose. So you have to choose it wisely, okay? Now, last but not the least, let's understand what all mistakes you guys usually do in this particular examination. The very first thing, overthinking content. Now, this is something which is a universal problem. We cannot do anything for this. But yes, make sure not to overthink a lot. Focus on your instinct. This is something that I would like to recommend you all, okay? Ignoring microphone positioning. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. Your microphone positioning is something that is really crucial. Why? Because if anyhow it's not positioned properly, it will be difficult for the system to analyze it. And yes, microphone की बहुत दिक्कतें आती हैं, जिसके वजह से आपके स्कोर में बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स आ सकती हैं. So घर पे तो you've got a really good headset and you've got really good earphones जिससे आप practice करते हो. That's gonna catch your voice really good and have a noise cancellation in it. But the one that's available on the exam center is not exactly how you expect it to be. So you have to be, or make sure practice from the one that you're going to get in your exam center. So I'm not saying that they don't provide you a really good headset, but I'm just saying that you need to practice with a headset that headset that has a microphone attached to it, right? So basically it has to have a really good, features. I'm not very good with the tech things, but it needs to have a really good feature so that it's going to catch your voice. Okay, chalo. Memorizing templates blindly. Now again, this is again one of the problem. In PT examination, you've got template for each and every writing question. And my recommendation, not to use any of them. If you're going to use them, if you're going to memorize, of course, see, again, एक चीज तो है, अगर आप अच्छे से memorize कर लेते हो, तो no doubt you can get really good band score. But I don't see any point of memorizing things and writing them in your examination. Rather, I would recommend कि आप उसको ध्यान से पढ़ो and then try to allocate your skill set rather than memorizing it. Okay. Pausing too much, of course, your time is going on, so you cannot take a pause, like a lot of pauses, of course. Pause lena is a healthy thing, but बहुत ज़्यादा pause lena is not healthy at all. Okay, not typing fast enough and listening. So देखो, because it is computerized, so you need to have a hands-on experience and a really good accuracy in your writing skill set. So when you're writing your essay, whenever you're writing your answers, it's important to have a really good typing speed. I mean, we don't have any kind of official time or any kind of official accuracy, but of course, where there's time, you need to pace yourself up, right? It's really very important to have a really good typing experience. Okay, chalo. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It has been a wonderful session. I hope this helps. And please let me know if you need any further guidance on PT. I'll be there to help you out. Bye bye. Take care.